Hello and welcome back to Dreamwalker Tarot. My name is Dawn and this is the March reading for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Mercury. Please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell for post notifications. This month I will be using the Celtic Cross Tarot spread for the reading, and the first card that comes out in the position of what is currently happening for you this month is the Moon card in reverse. The Moon card is an indication that right now you might be suppressing like your inner feelings, your inner emotions. There might be some confusion. You might be experiencing confusion related to a particular place or a particular issue. This could be concerning a Pisces person, because Pisces, the Moon card is a representation of Pisces, so this could be related to a Pisces individual, right? Some of you might just be very unclear about your intuitive nudges that you might be getting about a particular person or a particular situation, just being kind of like unclear if you know the entire situation in it, in its fullness, or if there are things that are being kept from you or being hidden from you. And so with the Moon card in reverse, I feel like you might have already had some things revealed to you, and that's for some of you. For others, this information is going to be revealed to you this month, or you might be getting intuitive, nudges about this particular situation. So I will be using the Lenormand, the Grand Tableau, Lenormand Oracle deck to do clarifications. And the cards that came out to clarify the Moon card is the Book, the Garden, the Fish, the Snake, the Rider, and the Man. So there are a couple of things going on here. So first, I feel like this has a lot to do with your finances. And so this could mean that there's a little bit of a not being clear about finances, about your level of abundance. This could be in terms of like bookkeeping, in terms of business. I feel like some information will be coming out in the public about some sketchy financial dealings. This information could be revealed to you or be brought to you by this gentleman. It could be a male Pisces person, but there is a little bit of underhanded activity going on here with the finances, with the bookkeeping. You might someone might not be necessarily keeping the books in the right way, and this could be pertaining to like your workplace. So you might be receiving some information about some deception that has happened here, or some news that is painful. It might be delivered by this Pisces male individual, or you could have Pisces in your chart, and so this would be related to you. Some of you can have, be visited by a male person or someone that you might have known before, and they're giving you this information. So, but it's being done in a public sort of way. Or you could have a man that's visiting you, that's coming back into your life to deliver you some news, and that person isn't going to necessarily stay around. They're just kind of in and out, pretty much just to deliver the news to you. But it is financial news with the Fish card here. It is financial news, and it's also about like your business. So that is something to be mindful of. What is crossing the Moon card is the Five of Cups in the reverse. And so this is the indication that this news, whatever it is, whatever is revealed to you, is going to be basically something of a personal setback for you. But I really kind of feel like it's more of a financial setback. And so this card is really saying that you have to kind of like be able to move forward from this. Don't get stuck in that space where you're angry or you're beating yourself up. It's an indication that you need to forgive yourself, especially if, like I said, if this information has already come to you, like you might have been taking some type of financial loss. And so this is an indication that you need to move on and move forward. This is a setback, but it's not, the end of your path, regarding this situation, right? The Five of Cups shows 3 of Cups turned over and empty, but there's 2 cups also still available that are full. And so it's really about not crying over spilled milk or kind of obsessing about something that has happened in the past. that you can't really control, but to kind of focus on the things that are still present and still relevant and still on the table for you. So if this is in terms of finances, I feel like you might have taken a financial hit, and there, you do have some emotion regarding that, but it's not the end of the world. There are other opportunities and other things available to you. The clarification for the Five of Cups is, again, the rider and the man. So again, this is an indication that a man or a masculine presenting person is going to be delivering you some messages. They're coming in and they're coming out, and that's pretty much the end of it. So they're going to be leaving quickly, but the information that they're going to be presenting you, or the information that they're going to be giving you, is something that's going to be lasting or having a lasting effect on you. And you just want to understand that you don't want to kind of like wallow in that information or wallow in the negative aspects of that news. So just be mindful of that. But also, like I said, this potentially could be a new person coming into your life, or a visit from a masculine presenting person in your life, but they're going to come in and they're going to go. In the past, what we have here is the Eight of Cups. And so this is basically, the past of the situation is that you kind of like walked away from something, right? You walked away from something because as far as you were concerned, there was something missing, and you didn't necessarily want to walk away, but you kind of felt like you didn't have a choice, right? And so this could be pertaining to like the news that you're getting about this loss that you took. This is the loss that you walked away from. So again, I said a lot of you have already kind of received this information and received this news, and you're kind of like stewing in it. I feel like there's a sense of like you beating yourself up or blaming yourself for what happened, but it really is not your fault. So be mindful of that. You move away from things in your life. If there's something missing, you have to do what you have to do, right? And so there's like a sense here that you walked away from something that was, there's an emotional connection here, right? There's an emotional situation. For some of you, it could have been a third party situation with the Five of Cups and the Eight of Cups. The Three of Cups is there. So it could have been like a situation where it was like a third party situation, and, or you were a party of a third party situation, but the person that felt like you were missing out or you weren't getting what you needed to get within the dynamics of the situation. So you had to walk away from it. In your consciousness, the card that comes up is the Fool card. And so ultimately you walked away in order to get a brand new start. I feel like you didn't necessarily know where you were walking away from and what you were walking into, but I felt like you needed to do this for yourself, to have a new start for yourself, to get a life that you want for yourself, and you took that chance. And so, as a result, some of you might be feeling, a little bad about it, but ultimately it's the new start, and it's like you're allowing yourself to kind of like navigate in the darkness in order to move towards your ultimate goal and what you ultimately want for yourself. On a subconscious level, the card that is coming out is the Temperance card. And so this is basically an indication that you need to get back into the flow of things, to recover from the things that have happened to you, and to get your life back into order and balance, right? So this is saying that you need to remain calm, even though you might be stressful or you might be panicked right now. The things that are supposed to come to you will come to you. Kind of having balance and tranquility and peace in your life will help you experience the things that you want, the things that you want to bring into your life, right? So playing the middle ground is really good for you right now, not to kind of, swing one way or the other too much. If this is a discrepancy, to kind of like play the mediator in the situation. But it's also a matter of like learning how to create a balance in your life, right? And some of you, it's also about blending, right? So, and trying to create a situation where there's peace, especially if this is coming out of the situation, you want something that fills you and is like a long-term situation. You have to figure out a way how to balance your emotions, your finances, and handling your emotions in terms of when you receive bad news, not to kind of fluctuate off from one feeling to another. For some of you, this is like grandmother energy. When I see this card, I think of grandmother energy. And so some of you might have had a grandmother that has passed away, and subconsciously, I feel like you might be getting messages or dreams from this particular person. And so just that's something that you should be aware of. There might be messages for you in those dreams, and so you want to write them down. You want to keep note of them. They might not make sense to you right now, but I assure you that they will. Okay. And the next card that comes up in the position of the near future is the Five of Pentacles in the reverse. And again, this card comes up when there's like a sense of loss, of a financial loss. And so in the reverse, it's like recovering from that loss. And so again, like I said, there is information coming to you about a financial hit that you have taken. Like I said, you might have already gotten that news, or you might be getting the news in the near future, which is the reason why you're recovering, or you might have already gotten it. And so in the near future, you will be recovering. But it's really just a sense of coming out of that space of losing financial losing something financially, right? And so also with the Eight of Cups that came out in the past position, I feel like you might have walked away from something that has caused like a sense of emotional imbalance in your life, or is the reason why you're experiencing this emotional imbalance in your life. And so this is just a reminder to kind of like move forward. What I like about this particular card is that this woman is in a room, in a locked room, just feeling very depressed and very down about what's going on in her life. Obviously, a financial downfall has happened to her. And so there's a sense that she doesn't really see any way out. But if you notice in the card, in the left, on the left hand side of her is a key, is a keyhole, is a place for a key. And so no matter what happens, like to you, you know, regarding your finances, or just taking like having negative things occur to you in your life, there's always a way out. There's always something that can be given to you or presented to you to help you navigate out of that situation. For some of you, that is your spirituality. For some of that, for you, it's your spirits, guiding and protecting you, but also just being able to maintain a level head and a level balance through the bad times, because bad times don't last forever. Trouble don't last always, like they say. And so ultimately, there will be some sort of reprieve for you in this particular situation. Also, just one more thing is that a setback, whatever the setback mean, is like it's a perfect spring ground for a comeback. And if you see here, there's a Five of Cups and then the Five of Pentacles. When you see fives, 555, 555, you might be seeing that a lot. It's really an indication that a change is about to happen, or a change in your life is about to occur. So just be mindful of that. If you see 5 5s or 555 or 555, in sequence, then you know that that's spirit talking to you, letting you know that a change is about to come. And so for some of you, that could help you in terms of just holding on and keeping faith and being positive and waiting and looking for, positive things coming into your life. For some of you, the Five of Pentacles in the reverse is being clarified here by the ship, by the birds, and by the Lily card, which is, I don't know, I'm really kind of unsure how to read this. I'll just tell you what I get. Basically, the ship is an indication of like a journey, of something that's like that needs to be explored. So this could indicate some sort of goodbye, a travel, like saying goodbye and moving somewhere. So some of you might be moving, some of you might be going on a trip, and I feel like there's a sense that you are like nervous about that with the bird card here. That's like nervous energy. So some of you might be like nervous about traveling somewhere, or worried about travel, period, right? And then the Lily card is here talking about exploring sensuality, or like your morals and your ethics. And so your morals and your ethics might be attached to the loss that you took. I feel like you might have made a choice or been presented with a choice to make a decision that wasn't necessarily morally or ethically sound. And so you might have had to walk away from something because of that. But I feel like ultimately there is a sense of exploration here that you're having. Some of you might be like traveling for a long distance relationship, or a long distance affair of some sort. I don't know. Or traveling, but there's an idea here where there's like two sides to the coin, right? So a squeaky clean side, and then like a dark side. And so it might be like you're exploring like the dark side of yourself, or being stuck in this dark place due to taking like the hit. And so that is something that's coming up. But there ultimately there is a sense of like traveling, or going on a trip. And so there's like a nervous type of energy associated with that. So the card that is coming up in the position of like your current actions and your current steps is the Lover in reverse. Some of you could be dealing with a Gemini person. And like, again, there's this element here with the Temperance card and also the Lovers card, is that there's two sides to the coin, right? I'm surprised that the Devil card isn't coming up here for your energy. But definitely that is definitely at play. And so the Lovers card is an indication that you need to come back into harmony, because you're like out of harmony, and you're not aligned with your values and your goals. And I feel like even the Lily card that just came out was really talking about like your values and your goals and the things that you believe in from an ethical place. And so there's like a sense that that's kind of like off balance right now. And so the indication here is that you should be practicing really self-love, forgiving yourself for decisions that you've made, but also, understanding that no one is perfect, and that we all make decisions or things happen that kind of take us off of our course. But there we have the opportunity and the time to really kind of like, sink back into ourselves and really like love on ourselves and forgive ourselves for mistakes that we make, right? So some of this could be like you're out of sync with your partner. You're having a difficulty communicating, because the Lovers card is also the card for Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury. And so communicating with a partner, whether it be a romantic partner or a business partner, allowing yourself to speak about what you feel, and being able to kind of come to some understanding and some sort of agreement about the way that you're going to progress moving forward, right? There's a sense here that there is like a war going on the inside of you, right? You might have to make a tough decision about something. And so, this decision is kind of like wearing on you. So like I said, there is information that's coming to you, and that information could potentially help you to make your final choice about something. But for some of you, the choice has already been made, and I feel like you're just trying to come back into like alignment with yourself and try to like get over the information that has been presented to you and move forward. So you really are being asked to kind of like think about the path that you want to take, and to make sure that that path is in alignment with what is for your highest and greatest good. The clarification for the Lovers card is the Child, the Woman, and the Tree. And so the tree is basically an indication for like nature, so possibly getting in tune with nature, but it's about being grounded. It's about being connected. It's also about personal growth and the opportunity for that, but also health and wellness. And so this is not just spiritual health, this is also physical health, right? The child here could potentially be a sick child who is a female, or someone who is pregnant with a tree here. So it's a connection to your ancestors as well. So it's like, or it could be an issue with like coming up with about past childhood issues, or issues that you've had in the past with a specific illness. Like I said, it could be a sick child, it could be a pregnancy. And so with the woman here, it could be a female that is sick, a sick woman, a sick, your daughter, it might be like your daughter, it might be your mother. It's also coming into contact with a female doctor, but this could also be a female ancestor who is connected to you, who has passed on. Like I said, the grandmother energy is there, so that could potentially, kind of talk about like the Lovers card. So it's communication with these types of people. But also, like I said, it could be, if it's you, it's really like the sense of coming into balance, or coming into a perspective to deal coming into like a certain perspective when it comes to dealing with your health, your wellness, spiritual and physical. If you are a female listening to this, there could be a potential that you're pregnant, or it could be a potential that you are suffering from an illness. So you might want to go to the doctor and check that out just to make sure that you're okay. There's also this idea here that some of you could be in a relationship with someone who is a little bit immature, a little bit childish, just inexperienced, right? And doesn't necessarily understand the dynamic of a relationship or how a relationship flows. And so there's an idea here that it's going to be kind of like a little bit of a push and pull to kind of get the relationship back into balance, because of the fact that they are so inexperienced. And so it's going to take a little bit of time to get it to be grounded and to be stable. In the position of like external factors that could be having an impact on the situation is the Hermit card, which is an indication that this particular person could be a Virgo person as well. There's a lot of like Mercury energy, so this is like quick energy. Mercury's in and out. Like again, the rider kept coming up, the man kept coming up. So we have a couple of elements here. We have Virgo energy, we have Pisces energy, we have Gemini energy, quick information, quick news. And so this is the idea here is that the person that could be involved in this is a person that is a Virgo person on the outside. They might be on the outside looking in on the situation. The clarification, because I feel like I had to put clarifiers for this card, is the Sun, the Clover, and the Child. So this Child is coming up again. So again, there's like this idea of potentially a new start, a fresh start, kind of looking at something with open eyes from a different perspective, a more childlike perspective, and to be a little bit, more open to the possibility of a new child coming into your life, or the new opportunity to have a child. That is actually coming up as well. But ultimately there is a sense of like joy attached to this card. Like I know, the hermit usually like steps away from everything and kind of keeps himself secluded. So this could be someone that is like watching you, that might have good positive news for you. You might be hearing information about someone else, being pregnant, or the opportunity to really have like a good family structure is kind of here playing out as well. The card that is coming up in the position of your hopes and fears is the Page of Wands in reverse. And so this is an indication that you might have a new idea that you want to work on, a new business plan, a new creative venture that you want to take. But I kind of feel like there's like a little bit of hesitation, and I feel like you don't really necessarily know how to make this become a reality, right? Like how do you take this idea, or how do you take this thing that you want to do and make it a reality, right? And so there's like a level of fear or just apprehension attached to that. I do feel like there is some eagerness to do it, but there has been a lot of hardships and obstacles and opposition really in being able to kind of like make this happen, right? This can indicate a lack of motivation, or being indecisive about how you want to move forward, or being a little bit anxious, or having like fears about how to go about achieving your dreams. And so internally I feel like your fear is not being able to really manifest this thing that you want to bring to life, whatever that might be. The clarification for the Page of Wands in reverse is, again, the man, the tree, and the house. And so there is this element of a masculine presenting person who is within your household. It could be someone within your house that is either an ancestor, a male ancestor, or someone who lives with you that is really kind of concerned about the finances or stability in the house. They could also be concerned about repairs to the house. They can also be concerned about their health, right? So the tree is showing up here as a health. There is a connection, a deep connection with this person. This person could be you, but it could be also someone in your family. And so they're like worried about finances and stability, and being able to take care of a home, or being able to provide for a home. This could be in terms of like purchasing a home or taking care of the home that you already have. And also, like I said, this could be an indication that this person is sick. If this is you, you might be worried about your health. So that keeps coming up. So I feel like, again, if you are concerned about your health, take the proper precautions and go see a doctor so that you can get some advice and guidance with that. The card that comes out for the final outcome is the Six of Cups, which is super sweet, right? So this is an indication here of like family, of childhood, having a child. Again, like I feel like that kept coming up with the idea of being pregnant and pregnancy. And so for some of you, if you're worried about that, then this is actually showing up as like a final outcome for you. For some of you, this is really like thinking about like when you were happiest, like the happiest parts of your life, returning back to childhood. And really kind of like thinking about those experiences that you had. This will kind of help to kind of like rebalance you, reattune you, realign you, kind of bringing a little bit of fresh joy and innocence into your life. Hang out with some children if you can. They will definitely help you to feel happy and, really kind of spread joy to you in your life. This is also talking about like if you have any situations in your life that are kind of like disharmonious right now, that those things will eventually be harmonious. Your communication will get better with someone if you're dealing with that, and also getting in touch with like your inner child, right? Really ultimately being free, acting like you are a kid again, getting into the things that you like to get into when you were a kid, playing games, like spending time outdoors, being spontaneous and creative, and to connect with your old childhood self, right? For some of you, this is referencing, like I said earlier, like a pregnancy, potentially twins, a birth, multiple births is also present here. I'm going to pull some clarifiers for this because this energy is sweet and I don't want to let it go. The clarifying cards here for the Six of Cups is the key, the tree again, and the snake, right? And so there's this element here that you're returning basically back to dealing with old childhood issues. The resolution to this is really also will open up healing for you in terms of dealing with like old pasthood traumas, bringing childhood energy into your life will relieve a lot of like old things that you dealt with as a child growing up, really just kind of overcoming that and moving forward into a space of like being happy and tapping into like the good and sweet parts of your childhood. I feel like a lot of you will have certain things revealed to you throughout this transitionary period about your childhood, but it's and also a desire to feel free from things that might have happened to you during your childhood, right? Some of this information that I said earlier that could be revealed to you that might have an impact on you outside of it being finances. It could be like a family secret, kind of like getting information about a family secret that's really going to impact you in a deep way, and releasing yourself from that. So releasing yourself from family members or family dynamics that might be a little bit restricted to you. But ultimately, this is a period of recovery for you. Like we have the Sun card, we have childhood energy coming up. And so this is really going to be an opportunity for you to heal your own childhood issues by also being in a space to have your own child, so that you can like basically be released and unlock, or be what's the word, released and unlock like all of the issues that you might have had that developed within your childhood space. Remember before we had the Five of Pentacles with the key? Here's the key, right? So it's an opportunity to kind of like unlock all of the issues that you might have had, revealing yourself to you, which is an opportunity to heal. It's an opportunity to grow, and it's an opportunity to kind of basically help to ground your own family life, with your own children moving forward. So that is the end of the reading. I'm going to go ahead and pull some advice cards for you guys. The first card that came out for you guys is the Broken Arrow, which says to embrace the energy of peace. Let go of the need to defend yourself and prepare to offer peace. You are safe. Just as the Arrow card symbolizes defense and protection, the Broken Arrow card symbolizes peace. In Native American traditions, a broken arrow would mean that tribes were no longer fighting one another but were making alliances. When you see a broken arrow in a meditation, vision, dream, or reading, it is a message that you no longer need to fight because peace has arrived. This is a powerful symbol of harmony, serenity, and community. If you have been exposed to a situation in which you have felt the need to protect yourself or defend what you feel is right, know that this is now coming to an end. With the arrival of the Broken Arrow card, you are being guided to know that the energies of light are entering to wash away all the darkness. You can drop your shields and protection. You are now in a situation that will honor you and honor your needs. Arguments are ending and disagreements are being resolved. Prepare to talk things through and offer the peace that you would like to enjoy. In order to move forward in a more fearless way, it's important for you to let go of the idea that you can be hurt by the situation or the people involved, because this will only work against you. Know that your angelic guides and ancestors are standing around you and protecting you and taking you lovingly forward. The second card that came out for you guys is the Snake card. And so this is saying to shed old skin, cast off the old, reveal your true colors, talents, and gifts to the world. In many spiritual traditions, the snake offers powerful medicine. In tantric teachings, it symbolizes the Kundalini, which is the most powerful serpentine energy within that allows you to reach your highest spiritual potential. When the sacred ones saw a snake in nature or encountered one in a dream, they knew that there was transformation in the air. For this particular reading, the snake card not only represents the shedding of old skin, but moving beyond the limitations caused by carrying the venom of negative thoughts about others or the past. The energy of renewal is washing over your life at this time. If for some reason you feel that your true self hasn't been recognized or you've been misread by others, know that this energy is leaving you now. As you've been working through your old stories and all the self-limiting beliefs that you've accumulated along the way, you've been peeling away a shield of skin that has created limiting experiences. Your own personal commitment to growth has been recognized, and now the external world will begin to reflect all of the work that you've been doing within. If you feel someone you love has misunderstood you recently, they will be able to see beyond that if you're willing to recognize your own challenges. This is a time for renewal, abundance, and connection. Let yourself be reborn and celebrated. So yes, so this is like a rebirth time for you. Like it's a rebirth period for you. And so that kind of explains like the Six of Wands energy. It kind of explains like the Gemini and Mercury energy. And the Virgo energy that was present. So it's really about communicating the things that, you've kind of been holding back on to kind of alleviate some of the discrepancies and the arguments or the defensive energy that you might be having in your life right now. And so this is really a beautiful way to end the reading. I feel like it transitions from like really being dark into like a really happy space with the Six of Cups, which is always a blessing. But now we've come to the end of our reading. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this video. Please like the video, share your comments and your thoughts below, share the video with a friend who you feel can benefit from the messages here. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for post notifications. Thank you again, and I will see you soon.